Today I intend to work with the NEURO algorithm of Neurografica. In the NEURO algorithm, you use and connect to the power of rain, which is collected in clouds, which is raining on earth and nourishing the soil for something to grow. And it's a very powerful, beautiful algorithm, and I intend to use it on the topic of being cared for. I discovered that this is still a scary topic for me because I'm used to care myself, for others and also for myself, but I'm not really used to, and I'm also not very ready yet to be cared for. So that's why I want to explore this topic by using NEURO. So let's see how that goes, and I invite you to draw along with me if you like. You can also explore by watching what I do, the way Neurografica works in general. Okay, so let's do it. So I write down my topic, being cared for. So if you choose the same topic, you can also write that, or you can write down your own topic which you want to grow with the NEURO algorithm. Now we collect our associations on that topic and write down words and phrases or whatever comes to our mind in 2 minutes without judging them. Just write them down. discovered basically my words reflect the experience of not having been cared for, and reflect that habit of mine to take control myself for my own life and also in my environment. And they also show that I do that too strict, and I protect myself from the disappointment of not being cared for by doing that. Find that quite interesting. I'm sure you also discovered interesting aspects of your topic. And now we draw. I'm using a big sheet today, A3, and I'm using felt pens because in this algorithm I like to have very nice and colorful colors, and I choose one color for my clouds, and I feel I want them to be dark blue. And I draw clouds by focusing on like the upper part of my paper and start drawing neuro lines that I lead from one side of my paper to the other side. And they don't repeat themselves, they flow naturally. And they flow to where I don't expect to see them. I draw and feel into my topic, being cared for. I still feel this what my words have like brought up, like tightness, sadness for not having been cared for. And I'm feel a little bit lost, like where will that go, being cared for? Is that for me? Who should be doing that? I can care for myself. That works very nicely. I've always done that. Relying on other people is not very helpful. People don't give me what I need. That's all the thoughts that come up for me. So you check what thoughts come up for you. You might want to stop this video to be able to hear your own thoughts. I also draw from right to left in order to let my neural lines flow unexpectedly. Being cared for. There is no one who cares for me. What should I wait for? Have given up waiting long time ago. I care for my environment. I am in charge. what is that implying? What does that mean, being cared for? Is it conditioned? Are there conditions I have to fulfill to be cared for? I don't want to. I don't want to have to adjust myself in order to be cared for. I only want that if I can truly be myself, although I'm being cared for. I can feel that this is a big topic for me, which is related to that control of mine, of my environment, this being scared of losing control, because I need to care for my needs. Cannot trust anyone with that. That's my experience. From a long time ago, nobody cared the way it felt caring for me. There wasn't anybody emotional available. So I don't know how that feels. So whenever, as an adult, I try to connect with people, even and especially in closer relationships or close relationships, I was repeating the experiences of my childhood, connecting with people or trying to connect with people who were not emotionally available, who were not able to give me this feeling of being cared for. Because I didn't even, until today, I didn't even attract people who have this ability. You always attract into your life what resonates with your energy, and my energy is I do it myself. Then obviously I attract people who want to be cared for, mostly. Because that's what I want to do, and that's what I learned to do. I care for other people, other people's needs. And in the second step, I learned to care for my own needs. And now I realize that even the thought of a relationship or somebody caring makes me scared, because I might lose control over my life. That's how it feels. So while I'm reflecting all that, I'm continuing to work on my neural lines, which slowly form clouds. It looks already quite cloudy here. And now I'm integrating my clouds a little bit, collecting energy in them to move on in my topic. Connect with our clouds. I feel my feet and arms are getting warm. Something is moving inside. Some energies start to get flowing. And I feel some kind of excitement of woohoo. new experiences might be waiting because I open up for them. And I don't even do that because I want to, but because I feel the need to do that, as we usually do when we have a request. We feel unease, we feel the need to move somewhere into a new direction because it's just the right time to do it, and you cannot do it on focus on anything else because this next step wants to be gone. That's how it feels for me at the moment. There's some next step to be gone, and because it feels scary, I'm quite sure that it's something unfamiliar, something new, because I had once, maybe early, I don't know at what age, decided I won't trust humans. Oh, I know at what age. It was 8. I won't trust anybody. I had an experience where I had to share something dear to my heart with like my schoolmates. And I know I was 8 years and I had no one to share except for my mom, who was emotionally very unavailable and how to say, not only unavailable, but also not able to really be kind, let's call it that way. So I shared with her my feelings about not being as the others, not belonging, and about me feeling wrong about that. And obviously my mother was the wrong person to share that with, but I didn't have anyone else. And I shared that with her, that I feel I don't belong and everybody is so different and it feels so weird. Yeah, and she said something very unhelpful for me. She said, oh, if you feel everybody is wrong, then that cannot be true. It must be you who is wrong. She literally said that, and obviously I already felt that it would be me who is wrong. But I know what I did in a consequence, because I decided I won't trust her ever anymore. And most probably I also decided at the same time that I won't trust anybody anymore. Yeah, phew. And while I was talking about that, I also discovered that this is how I feel at the moment as well at my school. Now I'm 50, 42 years later, and still I feel I'm so different and I don't belong. But today I know that I want to be different and I don't want to belong. And I don't want to play the game of being alive in a certain way, like in the way many people play it. I have my own way. And the thing I'm concerned about now is, how can I keep playing my game my way, although I am with other people who have a different way of playing the game. And sometimes if I feel weak and have not slept enough, and I'm at a point like now, something is changing in myself, then the old thoughts come back of not belonging, and maybe it's me who's wrong because I perceive like basically everything so different. And then, yeah, it's another exercise to stick to my experiences, that I do it my way. So there's a lot already contained in these clouds. I hope you explore your own topic, or also this topic. I think it might be an interesting topic for many people. Receiving instead of giving, making yourself ready to receive and ready to be cared for and ready to let go part of yourself which is overcaring for others, and also doing it yourself too much maybe. So everything what we do which is too much will be poisonous. So if I close myself too much because I feel other people's, like being close to other people is dangerous, I obviously also close myself for experiences where people might act in a different way. I'll let you know what happens after this drawing. Maybe needs to reconnect in my brain. Yet it feels like something I don't want to do. Let go of my overcaring because it's so familiar. And I even at this point I'm not so sure whether I want to be cared for the same reasons. And also I cannot even imagine to, I don't know, to have someone in my life who wants to be caring, wants to, and also is able to. This is for me something I realize that I cannot even picture in any way, that there is a person like that in my life, wanting and being able to care. I don't know how this topic came up again now, but I know that I drew NEURO on receiving last year, multiple times I think. Receiving in general, but now being cared for. So now I feel that it's still not enough to let it rain, so I'll take another blue pen. Now I'll take a pencil and I start coloring my clouds to gain more energy. Before it's raining, the clouds need to get dark and collect collect water in them, and that's what I do here now. Colors can be used as you like. You can use any color for the clouds. It doesn't have to be blue. Just today I feel like my clouds are blue. So we are collecting energy, and I feel more excitement, and I also feel some resistance of wow, something new is coming. Getting more warm even. I guess I need to remove my jacket here at this point. So something is obviously happening, and my clouds are getting dark here. And I feel that now they are soon ready for their first drops. So for my drops, I take my felt pen again and I collect the energy here, and then I will let it rain. It rains in a quick movement. It's raining, and here it's also raining, so I feel there's a lot of rain here. Yes, phew, hoo-hoo, wow. Yes, look at that, it looks nice and it also looks unfamiliar. So I will neurograph my rain here a little bit, connecting with my rain, getting used to it. These energies pour down on Earth and are visible and raining and nourishing. I feel the need to go over them again. Do the intersections and also draw neural lines on them. Trust, that's something what is in my mind now. Trust, yeah. I developed my trust in universe and in universal love, and trust in humans is something, yeah, I can work on. So how do you feel looking at this now? On your rain, I feel energy, I feel a new beginning somehow, and I feel wet. Interesting enough, I feel wet. I have been in a pouring rain a few days ago, and I can still relate to that, how it felt to have like all my clothes soaked, especially my trousers were very soaked. So I can even feel that it's wet. So now we need a second color for drawing Earth. So now we draw one neuro line from one side of the paper to the other, which is our Earth line. Need another pen. My Earth wants to be more visible. Ah, that feels beautiful. My Earth. And now I'm taking my Earth pen and I'm drawing neural lines to activate the Earth. The Earth in which The rain is pouring. I can feel my heart beat. And I can also feel my brain wondering what is happening. Activating earth. I do it with like both sides. Back and forth. We do that until we feel it's enough, which I don't feel yet. I feel I want more activation here. I even want to use my left hand for that, which can also create unexpected lines away from the already known. The past few days I was really sleeping badly, waking up at night and even having headaches. So something is in my life that wants to be experienced, dissolved, or open up for. So I feel my earth is already nicely activated, and I see here there are some centers of activation here. Now I connect my soil with my water as well. So I work on connections now. In here, the flow of water integrated. So you don't have to worry about rounding all your lines in this drawing, but you can create some streams of energy where you perceive them. Here, for example, this can flow here, connecting with the water. As always, we are creating systems, connected systems. Now we are preparing the soil for something, for whatever wants to grow there. You can work on any part of your drawing, everywhere, wherever it feels right for you at the moment. Here's a lot of connections. So what can also happen is that you're merging this rain here with the colors you're using for the earth. So my rain can still flow here. So we do whatever need to do. And the most important thing is to feel into the energies that come up. Being cared for. Feels a little bit better now. Using this color, less unfamiliar. It feels like a possibility at the moment. Like an option, although it's still somewhere in the distance in my perception. I like drawing with these felt pens as well. They give a very nice colorful vibe, and they can also be merged with each other nicely. So we can have the water flow as well, like wherever we feel it's flowing. So in this way it's also merging with the soil, like what rain does. It's soaking the soil and flowing everywhere. My soil felt very dry before. The soil for being cared for, very dry, desertly dry. And watering this soil actually, yeah, feels hopeful and interested in new experiences. Down there it's still a little bit dry, but so maybe that's just like it is. A little bit drier, the earth down here. Yes. I'll work at a different part of my drawing now. Creating connections. Let's see what happens here. So Neurografica is process based, so we are focusing on the moment and what is evolving in this moment. And in my thoughts, I'm thinking of that maybe now, 42 years after this decision of mine that I won't trust anyone anymore, and I stick to that basically, which led to feeling quite lonely in my relationships which made them even, how to say, it made my relationships even easy to let go of, because they didn't matter. Because if I don't have this connection, then I'm actually not interested in a relationship. And since I was only able to pick people who were emotional unavailable and who I didn't trust for that reason, relationships were not very interesting for me so far. It's not that I'm looking like desperately looking for any relationship. I actually feel like running away from it still. It seems to be easier to be by myself and more safe. But as we already learned, it's our brain suggesting us that what we know already seems to be the safest. And that's why our brain wants us to keep all the familiar states, and it warns us from changes, from doing something new. So that's quite natural that I feel that way, that, oh, I know how it is to be by myself, so let me stick to that. Losing my freedom is something I'm really concerned about. The next level would be keeping my freedom while being with people, especially in close relationships. I practice that every day with my son as well, which I got already very much closer to that aim. And it also teaches me that it's essential, necessary, and also valuable to show myself, to make myself visible and understood. Now I have a new thought. Maybe being cared for does not mean that I need to be dependent or not able to do it myself. Maybe I could even be cared for if I am independent and can do it by myself. That's an interesting and new thought for me. Keeping my independence and freedom, although being cared for. What a weird thought for me. Guess some of the interactions already have their impact. So now I want to spread my rain more into that soil I created. It's raining from up. Can come down and spread into my drawing as much as I want it to spread. feels quite easy at the moment and nice, surprisingly nice and comfortable. Like the rain is dropping and gently flowing everywhere, almost like roots. So at this point, I'm ready to plant seeds. Take a new color, and wherever I feel like, I plant a seed. My seed is orange. You can choose any color, and your seed can be any size. Just plant seeds wherever you feel that they want to be. Aha. And I can already feel that my seeds want to grow. My soil is already prepared. The seed already grow. And if you feel your seeds are not ready yet, is not necessarily like the same speed as mine, you can continue working on your system of earth. But whenever you feel something wants to grow, let it grow. Needs to be in alignment with your feelings. Not everything can grow at the same speed. Some of them are not growing yet. And I'm working on integration here. My water, my earth, a little more. Letting the soil get ready, but step by step. So all these lines become more and more integrated. And we work purely with our feelings, like where do we want them to be rounded, where is it okay that they stay like a little bit overlapping. Let yourself be guided by your own intuition about that. Rain is flowing wherever it's needed. And also my soil gets some color now. I want to apply some light. Purplish, no, not light purple, light red. A little bit pinky is mine. Although it could be also a little bit darker shade. Maybe this one. So how do you feel about this algorithm? Can you relate to its energies? I feel very energized at the moment. Okay, I'm adding energy here now to my soil by connecting larger cells, as we always do for archetyping and Neurografica. Apply the colors. So my feeling tells me that there's something here about my seed which will also grow in a minute. So I apply as much color as I feel needed and where I need it. So I need it here, and you know, this thingy is now growing roots, which are also intersecting everywhere. Roots. Wow, lots of roots. So I feel it is growing quite strong here in the earth. Lots of plants do that. They grow in the earth, and we cannot see them for a long time, preparing their roots, getting ready for their mission to become finally visible. So this plant of mine is growing here. Yeah, that's how far it got. I apply more color according to my needs, and the needs are in myself. So I want it. I want it in this color, and I want it in this intensity at the moment. I have this impression that this is my plant that grows, and it grows bit by bit. It's not, you don't draw it willingly, you draw it as it evolves. So some more. I even want to use some this pencil color here to add more light pink. Oh yeah, this needs to be here as well. You can also use your markers if you like to add the energy which is needed for your plants to grow. If you use them together, they might also merge in a way you might not like it because the lines dissolve. It's maybe an interesting exercise to accept that they don't exactly do what we expect them to do, maybe. Especially because we want to go over the lines in this step. We want to connect cells to each other. So we never color only cell by cell in Neurographica. That's not what it's about. It's about creating large shapes. So now I want to remember my topic, being cared for. It feels like creating a vision or an image of something I haven't ever envisioned before. And I feel this color is actually very suitable. I put it here in my flower. Wow, look at that. Look at that. I like that. I add more energy into my ground. It feels passionate. And it feels good. I'm looking forward to my weird states to disappear. Not sleeping and feeling heavy in my head and in my body as well. Very uncomfortable for me. So better to open up for something new. So make sure if you have these hatches to integrate them to one single system as well, because we don't want these single lines to stand out. To have an integrated impression for our minds. So careful with hatching. Use markers, pencils, and also do the hatching as long as until it is one single area created even by that. This direction and the other direction, and this will work out as well. Running away from the unknown. I can also feel that in the moment I decided to participate in some overnight trip, although it's getting quite cold at night and might be windy, and I feel like, oh, maybe I should not do it, but I know I will enjoy it and I know it will be great. But my brain can find tons of reasons why maybe I could also not do it, and by this keep myself from a new experience. But I will do it nevertheless. Interesting enough, I don't feel the other plants grow at the moment. It's only one growing. But it's okay. It can be very different for you. And my plant is growing even bigger. Oh, I cannot stop drawing that plant, can you see? Hoo 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 hoo. Amazing, it is very big. Now looking at that evolving plant, it already feels that it could maybe also be comfortable to be cared for, which is also a very new thought for me. Until now, I always felt that this uncomfort of being not cared for dominated my perception of relationships. And obviously, if that feels so uncomfortable, you're not looking for that and going for that. I'm curious how your plants look. It can be many plants, can be one plant. And they evolve naturally. Whenever and wherever they are ready. When they come out of the earth and become visible. Aha, so we need some, I need some more color as I feel. I need some yellow now. Using another pencil, and I want to make this plant, which is actually very big, blooming here in the rain or from the rain. NeuroRain. Yeah, we should draw together NeuroRain, I guess. I want to find a way to draw with a group of people, maybe. Will be interesting to share the drawings, why they are done, and what is coming up. In these videos I can share my own processes, which I do like to do because I personally like to learn by examples. And if someone shares their own examples, I can relate to that more than learning it in theory. So that's why I offer my drawings the way I do at the moment. And these drawings look always a little bit psychedelic, as my son said. But it's about what they do, and they do a lot. They do a lot. So feel free to create your flower or your flowers the way you want them to be. I feel I want more lines in it here. And I also want some integration. The colors. As always, the more we busy ourselves with our drawing, the more we can expect it to have an impact on our neurosystem the way we want it to be impacted. I want to make the stem a little bit thicker now for this very big flower. So also the roots holding that are growing. And I'll also this heart here. Source. Something else is growing here, as I see. Something else is growing. Interesting. That has never happened in my drawing before, but I have this urge to create leaves as well, which are also nourishing my flower. Connect my leaves to the environment. They are part of everything that is. Woohoo! It feels like an engine. An engine of growth. So you see I'm using different colors, different pens today, so you can play around with your rain drawing and you make it connected as much. Now I know why there wasn't anything growing yet, because there was this leaf going to grow and it is connected to my plant here. Being cared for. Ho 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 ho. People, where are you? To care for me. To care for my human self. So the rain is also mixing with my leaf. That's always the most important part, to make the intersections of our lines, even if it's a leaf, or especially if it's the leaf like that, we want to make sure that it is one system, not only like disconnected like that. It won't stay like that as well. These leaves are a surprise for me as well here. I'd never drawn leaves, so if you don't draw leaves, don't worry. Draw your plant or draw different plants. Like usually in my drawings, in my former drawings, I had different plants grow, and one usually like grew bigger, but I didn't decide that with my mind, but I was going with the flow of the drawing. So this is nicely intersecting my lines here, and then curious what happens with this. I also want to mingle it here. Maybe some potential here as it feels. Some potential. So I wouldn't have chosen this topic if I wouldn't have felt quite out of alignment in the past days. So we can be also grateful for feeling out of alignment and getting the hints to discover what it is about and what wants to be coming into our life, to open up for that and do what needs to be done. I feel that leaf is just at the right place and looks very right to me. So I want to grow the second leaf. Goes from here. So all lines we draw are neural lines. As always in Neurografica. So another second engine here. Integration of all intersecting lines. We are never separate from everything that is, although we as humans perceive or tend to perceive it that way. My topic feels quite natural at this point that I can even forget it for even thinking about what it was. So it feels that it's becoming more natural. Part of myself, of my system, in one drawing. Amazing. And exhale. Interesting plant evolving here. Yes, yes, yes. So a lot has happened. A lot has happened from the energy of the clouds. And you want to choose a few field lines now that run through the whole drawing. Oh, look at that. I'll choose the green ones as a field lines here, because this is already going here down there nicely. I want to use this one, which is need to work on the integration in the next step, but now I want to make it invisible first. Let it flow down here, and it flows through my plant and into the ground. Connects heaven and earth, and it symbolizes universal love and wisdom flowing through our drawing and nourishing the topic. And I do this as well with the second one here, which I let which evolves from here. It's just going here. And then, where is it going? Up there. So our field lines are the lines that invite universal love and wisdom, and which are the lines we make visible in our drawing. So if you use more colors, like in this drawing, the most important thing is to carefully work on blending the colors into each other. So that's what I do now. I work on my green color also flowing into the other colors they meet. For example, here in the sky. I merge them as much until I feel they are not separate but connected to each other. That can be done with the pencils, that can also be done with a marker, like a fine liner, or what is that here? Felt pen, they can also mingle nicely. So you try what works for you and what you have as well. It's always about creating an impression of wholeness to our own minds. So there are the rules, and it's also our own needs which we need to listen to. In fact, mostly those. Oh, I want to go down the whole field line and check. Here are some lines that are not yet nicely merged. This red line, oops. This red line, for example, can be a little bit more integrated, for example here, and then if you use these felt pens, that works nicely to blend going all the way up here somewhere. It's coming from down here, where it can go through, connect with the water. So it's also spreading, and it's also going into the plant. Feel this makes my plant stronger. Give it a structure, hold it. So this merging also helps us apply strength in certain parts of the drawing. So, and can use the blue again to make it even more flowing here. That's some other blue. At this moment, I feel the need to work with my lines of the rain once more. Let them flow down, fresh, nourishing, grounding. I have a very unfamiliar thought which says I'm ready to be cared for. Ooh, ooh. here how it feels for me. Woo. Yes, this feared line needs some integration here. Yeah, that feels really nice and organic if it flows into the other lines. Quite meditative work. No need for much talking. Befriend ourselves with our new impressions. More connections for my leaf are growing. As you know from other drawings, we apply lines wherever we feel the need for them. And I feel I want to connect my leaf more. Does that leaf need some more lines? I don't know yet. But what I actually like, yeah, I want to connect my main flower more to the environment. Maybe here. I discovered an interesting thought which is being transformed here, and my thought was, I pay for being cared for with my freedom. That's why I didn't like that. Yeah, interesting. So now I want something here now. Maybe more new experiences. Something more is growing. I'll leave room for the unknown with the white. So this is my drawing of my NEURO rain Obviously, this is my main shape, my fixing shape. And now I write down words after drawing what has happened to me while drawing. Topic 2.0. Please do the same. Write down whatever is in your mind at this moment after drawing. What I learned in this drawing is that my freedom is not affected, and also not my independence, by allowing to be cared for. This is what I got out of my drawing today, which is an interesting thought, and which this connection of fear of losing my freedom if I allow to be cared for, obviously prevented myself from allowing anyone close to myself who would be willing and able to care for me, because my freedom, my inner freedom to act, was so precious, and is still so precious to me, that I was not ready to let go of it. And now I learned I don't even have to. I can have both. Yes, please leave a comment what you learned. Did you draw? I would be really pleased to see your drawings as well. In my Facebook group, Draw Yourself Free, you can share your drawings, and we can also have some interaction about your drawings if you have some questions. I am happy to draw with you. You are on your way. We are all on our ways. Interesting topics are popping out all the time, popping up all the time. And I sometimes have plans of drawing this and that in my next free space and share it with you. And then before I can do that, it takes sometimes weeks because other topics are coming out of nowhere and they are so present and important at this moment that I have to focus on them first. Yes, so keep on drawing. Thank you for watching. See you soon. Bye bye.